The three secrets to doing email marketing or email outreach that converts like crazy. Yeah, hey everybody, this is Ian from Mindful Marketplace, and I'm actually recording this as part of our 30-day 1K challenge for folks who want to use the card platform to build a brand, a business, a web design service, a web marketing consultancy, or even those of you who simply want to work from home and want an ideal home-based online entrepreneurial offer to extend to your audience. So, but the secret or the beauty of this approach is while I'm recording this for our community challenge, I'm also going to be sharing this with those of you who are doing anything else online that has this sort of valence or has this sort of mood, right? So if you're selling social media marketing or you're selling SEO or email marketing or web design or web development or just straight consulting, this will work equally as well. The secret to email outreach, in my experience doing email outreach of all sorts, some that worked really, really well and some that flopped terribly, there's actually three core points. One is you want to think about email outreach as a science experiment. And this simple thinking shift for me has made a tremendous difference insofar as dealing with rejection. So if you you come up with a hypothesis, like this offer will work for this audience. Let's say this is you fill in your offer and your audience, obviously, into that equation. And then you start a email outreach campaign testing that particular offer. And what you find, like many science experiments, is that they don't go the way you expected. So what you do is you begin to tweak the campaign or the elements in a way that leads to a better chance of confirming your initial hypothesis. So you might incorporate a second offer or a third offer or change the initial offer. And this is the part that I call the irresistible offer component. So you want to keep on dialing up the value and extending, tweaking, iterating, optimizing, improving, critiquing, changing the value proposition in such a way that at some point you're offering so much value to your ideal audience, your niche marketplace, your vertical, your industry, whatever it may be, that they find it harder to say no than it is just to say yes, because you're giving them so much value for their money. Now, there is a whole sort of backdrop of ways to even increase the effectiveness of that approach. Like if you build a community or a directory or an authority site in your niche, and you're also selling services to the folks in that niche, clearly that gives you a lot of flexibility to even give folks even more value, right? You can give them a priority of placement listing or a featured listing on a directory, or you can make them a featured member of a community, or you could promote their products if you have a marketplace, in addition to selling services to them using something like Card, which is what we're covering in our 1K 30-day challenge. The reason that Card makes offering these kind of irresistible offers so easy is because you can add more elements to your offer without adding a lot more time or cost to your bottom line. So you might add a second, you might design this, offer a great website to a realtor or a doctor or a dentist or a florist or whatever your niche is, and they may not find that incredibly persuasive. But let's say you also offer a Linktree page for their Instagram profile, and they're very active on Instagram, or you offer them a email marketing sequence that integrates with Card, because Card has these really great newsletter APIs. So you can, help someone not only build a great looking website, but also start a newsletter or an email marketing campaign for them by dint of just adding a form to your card offer for them that uses the MailChimp API or the Review API or the Get Response or ConvertKit API. All very, very simple, saves them a shitload of money going elsewhere to do that work or hiring someone else, and it takes you literally minutes, if not seconds, to implement that sort of offer or to improve the initial offer with that secondary benefit or value. So there's that. And then there is the customization of the email itself. So if you have the ideal audience, you have the irresistible offer, then you have the email outreach. And the way you simply ensure that you get this really incredible result is just customize the email for each individual recipient. It's amazing to me how few people do this. It's amazing to me how few emails I get that have that sort of customization. Most people send me emails with my name spelled wrong, or don't reference my name at all, or don't necessarily even understand what I'm up to in the world with respect to work when they offer me an app or a website or a consultation or whatever. It's just they're sending generic spam and they're trying to trick you into thinking they know something about you that clearly, if you're paying attention, you can see you're just getting this bullshitty kind of email that everyone else is getting with your name maybe or not included. There's a huge difference between that sort of email outreach and saying something nice about somebody that you're reaching out to. Hey, Joe, let's say you're targeting restaurants, a lot of folks who are interested in card-based web design, web development sorts of offers, or designing for food service or restaurants, because that's still an industry with huge amounts of potential, because so many restaurants don't have good websites or any websites. They use these like menu sort of services or PDFs or whatever. So one of the easiest ways of getting a much better response on an email to a restaurant is to say, hey, Bob, was in your pizza place last week, and man, I got to tell you, it's still the best, my favorite pizza spot in Cleveland. Or whenever I'm in this part of the neighborhood, I always stop at Joe's. And, Joe, love your spot. Hi, my name is Ian. This is what I do. You're going to find that people are going to be incredibly receptive to that sort of specificity, of that sort of customization. And it can be done for anything. You can reference a realtor's recent listing, or a architect, if you're targeting architects, their a recent house they built, or whatever the niche is, you can find something nice to say. One of the most, and I've covered this in the past, but one of the most successful outreach campaigns that we've done recently that I wrote, and I've certainly written many stinkers as well, so I'm not tooting my own horn here, but it was so easy because we were targeting authors. And there's nothing more than an author wants to hear, no matter how big they are in the world, than you enjoyed their book, right? I mean, no matter how big an entrepreneur is, there's still an insecurity around their writing, right? So I mean, if you reach out to someone and say, hey, Bob, this is Ian from Mindful Marketplace. Just someone recommended your recent book on meditation, and I've just finished the first chapter, and gotta tell you, really great. I'm excited to finish it, and many of the things that you referenced are directly within my value system as well. I mean, however you phrase it better than I just did, but someone's going to respond to that because they feel honored, they feel complimented, they feel flattered. And even if they're not interested, they're going to appreciate what you've done there with respect to your outreach. And you're going to get so much and it takes more time, no doubt. And the other thing that's hard is it often takes more time if you're outsourcing this stuff, like I generally do. So people that I send to do this work find that more challenging as well, when they have to say something nice about a book they haven't read, or they have to read the first chapter on Kindle for free, or they have to look at someone's tweets, or to comment on something specifically that person said, or a blog post, etc. It can be a pain in the rear end, but the return, the value that has on your business, on your outreach, on your ability to connect with your niche neighbors, your professional peers, the ideal audience that is perfect for your business and your brand can't be overstated, and it should be obvious. When you say nice things about people's work in the world, it is unusual, for one, unfortunately, because we're not living in a world where people are generally very nice to each other anymore. But in addition, it says something that reflects that you have interest in them, you have interest in their work, and that you are unique with respect to your outreach. And that will have tremendous positive benefits, that will confer positive benefits to your marketing that you simply can't get from any other, like BS sort of guru, gimmick, gadget, trick, software. It doesn't matter. Using that sort of personalization will do more for your bottom line than anything else you can imagine. Anyway, so those are 3 simple ideas that I'm sharing today. It's November 24th, 2021. If you're interested in joining our 30-day 1K challenge, it runs up until Christmas, November 24th to December 25th. You can sign up still at the link below. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. Thank you so much, as always, for listening, and have a wonderful day.